Hey, what's up you guys? Well, it seems like the forces above don't want me to record this video because I've had troubles with my throat, I've been getting fevers today. Well, that was a pretty short story. But I decided that despite not feeling at my best today, I still want to make this video because I've been waiting for this one way too long now. And I feel like better now than ever. So let's start up with the questions. And these are from Apollo. Number 1. Where is the strangest place you've peed? Well, I'm gonna have to disappoint you because I don't really pee at strange places. Like sometimes I have to enter a forest and pee against a tree, but that's about it. However, once I took a shit in the forest and I had to dry it off with leaves, and that was the most unpleasant bathroom experience I've ever had. Number 2. Would you rather have finger-sized arms or arm-sized fingers? Boy, this one is toughie. You know that family joke about that dinosaur which has small arms so it can't masturbate? Well, then you know I'm gonna have to choose arm-sized fingers. What's your favorite shade of grey?
Here is the first shade of grey. Here's another shade of grey. Grey, grey, grey.
Well, I guess I can show you. I suppose my favorite shade of grey would be the grey that this box has. No, it's not just because it's my favorite show. I actually do kinda like this grey. Would you fuck a hamster for 1,000,000 SEK? I keep getting this question every single time. Well, there you have it. Who is hotter, Carl or Lenny? For those who don't know, these are characters from The Simpsons. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to go with Carl, but Lenny seems like a more fun guy to hang out with. Which Donald Trump policies do you agree with the most? The only one I agree with is that tacos are awesome. Who would you like to play you in the movie about your life? I'd have to go with Billy Zane because I believe he can catch my boyish charms. And who would play your love interest? Well, that's easy. Elisha Cuthbert. After all, she is my number 1 celebrity crush, and you know, getting to work with her, that would be an absolute dream. Will CCMC ever make a comeback? Now, this is kind of a double-edged sword because personally I think that the CCMC short in Found in London was a comeback, but obviously this person is requesting a full episode, and I'm not really sure, to be honest. I lost most of my scripts when my old computer was stolen, and that made me very sad. Sure, I remember the storyline, so I could technically rewrite them, but damn, there were so many great jokes lost. Such a shame. However, there is one single script that a friend of mine has saved, so maybe if we get on it sometimes, we could at least produce one more last episode. Who knows? Don't count on it, but you never know. And that was all the questions from Apollo. Thank you so much. And now Tormented. Lemon decor. Do you consume it? Lemon decor is when you get the drink and it has a lemon by the side. And as to answer the question, yeah, I do, for the most part. It is a bit bitter, but it tastes good at the same time. Was 9/11 an inside job? Okay, I know why this question is asked, because once my friend showed me a 9/11 conspiracy documentary which supposedly exposed why exactly 9/11 was faked, and at first I was very skeptical, like, oh come on, this is complete horseradish, but after a while I strangely started buying into it, like, really? Well, yeah, that does not add up. Maybe that... Wow, you're right. I wouldn't say I completely bought into 9/11 was a hoax, but I started getting a little bit skeptical at least, so I made this very stupid thread asking was 9/11 an inside job, and obviously people got upset. I mean, I don't blame them, but thankfully a few days later I realized the error of my ways, and that anyone who believes 9/11 was an inside job is a fucking asshole. And that was all questions from Tormented. Thank you so much. Now we go over to Corny. How did you become a Simpsons fan? Well, I remember seeing it a lot on TV when I was younger. You know, it was always playing at Channel 6. And then when I was maybe 7, 8, I got season 1 as a Christmas gift. Or was it a birthday gift? And while I did like the little I'd seen from the show before then, that's when I really became a super fan. And that was his sole question from Corny. And now over to Panther. How is Flygare pronounced? This is my relative name, and it's pronounced like this. Fl-I-G-A-R-E. There you go. And that was a question from Panther. We are getting a little on the track of the one questioners here. The Shadette from YouTube asks, what is your favorite scented candle? Well, I don't really own scented candles at home, but I did buy one just for this video, and I have one other candle at home, so let's take a smell test. Starting off with the white candle. And now the scented candle, which is kind of purple pink. Well, no contest. The pink purple candle was much better because the white candle barely even smelled anything. Alright, next question. Next up is my commenter friend Adrian Mendoza, who always supports my videos on YouTube. Thank you so much. Happy anniversary. Thank you, thank you. The question I have is, what do your parents think of your channel? Do they know it exists? Yes, we do know it exists, and they have seen a few videos. Yeah, I know my mom seems to think my videos are funny, and my dad has at least seen the Father in London theme song, and he thinks it's very catchy. There's your answer. My favorite segment on your channel is the Midnight Camera series. Thank you. I think it's a lot of fun to do. Challenging, yes, because last time I, for the first time, really struggled not having a script, so I had to write one for the episode. But I still like doing it. And now over to Alpha, not to be confused with the 2018 movie. And these are all Favre London related questions, which is pretty exciting. What is your favorite and least favorite field scene? I guess my favorite scenes would be any scene where Rachel is yelling and the ones with the pedophile babysitter. While least favorite, on retrospect, I think this is what the Koki people like didn't work very well. It was supposed to be about Carl assuming this is what drugged up people like, which is why Johan reacted, but someone interpreted it as meaning that this is what the black people like, which is not even close to what I meant, but I see how someone could make that mistake. When are you going to add a sex scene to Phil? This might seem like a silly question, but it's actually going to happen. It's gonna be the season final quest for comms, where Johan runs out of condoms and he has to try and obtain new ones. At the beginning of the episode there's a, let's say, very risky scene, and I'm very worried that YouTube will remove my video if I animate that scene. Just because of how they banned Homer Simpson 6, which had Burns and Smithers dicks in it. Oh, and you know, no, I'm not gonna get into that. Too gross. But I did get away with a soda dick, so maybe it can be allowed at an age limit. I have no idea. We'll see. What was the inspiration for the characters? Well, I think Samantha. With Samantha, I was inspired by both Lisa Simpson and Haley. How Lisa tells her father not to do these stupid things, and Haley with her constant sarcastic remarks. But I didn't want it to be a complete copy of either of those characters. I kinda had to walk a balance to make her more of my own creation. As for Johan, I'm not sure really who I based Johan on. I guess you could say he's a little reminiscent to Stan from American Dad, but considering I created him so long ago, I don't think it was American Dad I was inspired by at first. So, sorry, I don't have an answer for that one. When it comes to Rachel, I wanted to create a little bit of an unconventional wife. Someone who's neither really thin nor really fat. Because I feel like often in TV you just see one or the other thing. But I wanted to go with chubby because that's not really as common. And when it comes to her personality, I kind of inspired by those parents with embarrassing outdated values who just still say these stupid racist things and they don't realize what they're doing is wrong. Kinda like Adam Calhoun. Carl, I guess you could kind of call him Maggie Simpson if she could talk. She has a similar explorer's nature and going on all these different adventures. I just wanted to create a positive character for the show because Johan, Rachel and Samantha, they can be pretty bitter a lot of the time, but Carl is the one who looks at the brighter side of life. You gotta have a little friction to make a good show work, that you don't have everyone just be the same kind of person. Where does the name Johan come from? I don't know, I just thought it had a nice ring to it. I know it's not really British, but when I looked at the design of the character, I just felt that Johan is the kind of name that fits for his face. Why do you hate techno music? Well, this is gonna sound very stereotypical from me, but it doesn't really have any pleasant melodic qualities to me. Like, I love rock because even though it's tough, it does have more to it than just a loud sound. A lot of rock is based on being upset with people in your life or society or environmental disasters, but techno just mostly doesn't really say anything. It's not really like classical music either, where I can just start thinking about any kind of stuff I could associate music with, because I don't really find it pleasant enough to listen to. Like, a lot of it is just it gets very tiresome, and whenever we do have lyrics, it's very limited. Like, although the song "Dance Motherfucker" has a nice beat at first, it does become pretty tiring after hearing the same thing for a while. It's like, yeah, no motherfucker, I am gonna dance. Next person, Cooper Mug. If you could make a movie and cast Al Pacino, what role would you give him? I've thought about this one for a lot. At first I thought another gangster kind of movie, but he does plenty of those already. You know what, I think you would make a really good wise character in a horror movie. You'd just be sitting there all like, "Don't go in there, motherfucker! You hear me? It's a funky monster there! Are you listening to me or not? You stupid miracle motherfucker!" Yeah, I think he could really bring something into that role. Let's pretend Farmer London was noticed by some industry person with cash. They offered to fund their show and get a full season made and aired somewhere, either online or a TV deal. However, they wanted to change things. Would you be willing to change or alter any aspects of your creation in such a situation? Changes could include anything from cut this character scene or change these lines. Well, it highly depends. If they want me to cut scenes for time, I can do that. I mean, I did it with the first episode after all. If it's cuts for censorship, well, I'm a little more apprehensive. Maybe if there was some kind of a deal where on DVD the episodes will be uncensored, but if the episodes are gonna remain censored, I'm gonna have to say no. But if, say, a channel like HBO, Showtime, or hell, even FX, because they allow a little more leeway than AMC, then yeah, absolutely. And the final person who has asked for this Q&A is Beans. If you had access to any and all currently live voice actors, what would be your dream casting for a field TV show? Or would you keep any of the cast you have right now? Do you prefer having you and your friends be the voices, have well-known actors, or a mix of both? And how much do you enjoy want to perform your own works? Well, I do enjoy it a lot, but I'll admit it can be a little bit challenging at times. I love doing the voice for Johan and Carl, but when it comes to the side characters, I prefer have other people do the voices. As for if I would recast any of the characters I have right now, the actor playing Rachel is perfect. I would never want to replace him. As for Samantha, damn it, it feels like I'm gonna sound so mean if I pick someone else, but let's see. Ali Larter, yeah, there you have it. If I had to choose a different actor than I have right now. And I guess for Gregren, I would maybe pick Dan Castellaneti actually, because he does such a great will, and you know, Scottish and Irish accents sound pretty similar in a way, so I believe you could really make your role work. As for if I prefer having me and my other friends do voices, or have more well-known people, or a mix of both, well, the honest truth is it doesn't really matter. Like, as long as I'm having fun, I don't mind getting, you know, more obscure people to do roles. Because it's pretty hard to get big list actors anyway. Now, of course, if I had a choice, I would probably have a mix of both, but it doesn't really matter either way. Thank you everyone for asking your questions. It's been a lot of fun answering them after all this time. So, until next year, over and out.